can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. Today, we'll be discussing the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Gold. House of the Dragon stars Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, Olivia Cooke, Rhys Ifans, Eve Best, Steve Toussaint, Matthew Needham, Ewan Mitchell, and Tom Glynn-Carney. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie. And alongside me is the fittest man in the Seven Kingdoms, the Cuss. How we doing?
Doing good. I mean, I think we tempted fate a little bit last week with all the shit we were talking, but I'm recovering.
Good. And alongside the Cuz and I is the third most fittest man in the Seven Kingdom. Our good friend and co-host Ryan. Ryan, how we feeling?
Not great, because I can tell that my insides are worse than yours and Benny's, so I don't feel good.
Oh, please, it'll only take you a week to catch up.
Yeah, of course. And you'll have 75 ounces of medium roast coffee in you every day, so don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch, and normally we typically watch a movie that one or all of us haven't seen, and we'll get back to that after we finish watching House of the Dragon. For all you out there that are scared of spoilers, we are not book readers yet, so do not be worried about us spoiling anything. We're just talking about the show. But anything from up till now is fair game. We might talk about stuff from Game of Thrones. We might talk about last season, House of the Dragon, whatever. But nothing in the future or in the books are gonna come out of these mouths. If you want to get involved, please send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. That's in the show notes. And there's another link in the show notes. Benny, tell them about it.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube at Let the Boys Watch. We've got some special YouTube exclusive only videos on there. We're talking about The Bear. We talked about the first half of The Boys this season. We'll be wrapping both those shows up. We're doing 2 episodes of The Boys at a time. So if you're listening to this episode, sorry. If you're listening to this episode, the new Bear episode that we do will drop tomorrow. So join us on YouTube.
Yeah. Send us a message. What do you think about this season of House of the Dragon? Check out our other videos, send us messages on that, whatever. We may not come across this way, but we are fairly friendly. I think most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just gotta get to know us first.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let my resting bitch face fool you. I'm pretty nice sometimes.
So again, we're talking about episode 4, season 2, The Red Dragon and the Gold. I have to assume that if you're listening to this or watching us, that you've seen this episode. And if this is your first time, we're not going to go scene by scene. We're going to talk about kind of our overall impressions, give some scores, do 7 questions for the 7 kingdoms, and then who sits the Iron Throne or who's the MVP this week. So, not going to do every single little thing, but just in case you are if you forgot from yesterday, 2 days ago, what the show was about. Quick recap: in Rhaenyra's absence, with no word from Daemon and Harrenhal, Rhaenys tries to keep the peace on the Black Council as Cole mounts a campaign into the Crown Lands. In King's Landing, Aemond continues to undermine Aegon's fragile hold and authority. And then the shit went down. So, boys, would anyone like to go first and talk about their overall impressions of this episode?
I'm interested to hear what Robbie thought, because he's been the most on the fence this far this season.
Same.
Phenomenal episode. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Just what I wanted. I mean, it brought me right back to Game of Thrones. Loved it. Pacing was great. Acting was fantastic in this episode. Action was out of this world. I'm definitely not gonna. I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is the best episode of the entire series. Um, I loved everything about it. It was that Game of Thrones that I know and love. Um, yeah, it had everything. It had action. It had spoiler, some deaths, one, maybe two, but it was great. Pacing was good. CGI was fantastic. Direction was great. Acting again, like I said, knocked it out of the park. I was a little worried in the beginning. I thought we were continuing a slow pace, and I was kind of getting annoyed at it. But I think right after maybe the small council meeting thing started really picking up, and yeah, could have did a little less with Damon again at Harrenhal and his Ghostbuster stories going on. I mean, I'm a little bit over that aspect of it. I kind of understand that he's having some nightmares. I don't need to see it every single episode. I get it, but amazing episode. I'm actually the first time in 2 years that I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Loved it.
Wow.
Nice. Funny.
I definitely I had my issues with last week because it felt like back to back. We called them chess piece moving episodes, and I feel like if they flipped the two, and not necessarily what happened in 2 and 3, but how 3 had its high moments at the end. Excuse me, 2 had its high moments at the end, and 3 was kind of, you know, I don't want to say bland, but slow the whole way through. If we got that little bit of uptick at the end of last week, I feel like we would have been singing a different story. But I had faith, and this episode completely delivered. Like Robbie said, this was like old times with Game of Thrones. I was wondering about Rhaenys, like as soon as she had that scene with Alan, and just her whole demeanor in that scene, I was like, this is odd, and I should have known. I should have known that her minutes on the screen were coming to an end pretty soon. But yeah, fantastic episode. Like Robbie said, the action was great. Uh, the CGI, the dragons. I mean, everything you wanted from this particular show and these stories, we're getting it now, and I'm excited to see where the rest of this season goes.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, especially, what you were saying, Robbie, the first, maybe even first act of this episode, I was like, don't do this to me, because my main concern while watching it, I was like, if they don't pick this up, Robbie's gonna stop watching, and then I don't know what we're gonna do.
This is my last week. This was close.
That was it. Yeah, if they didn't pick up, Robbie was dropping off the show, and I don't need that.
Done.
So it's again, yeah, I agree. Like less, Scooby-Doo Damon in the spooky mansion. While I like that sort of, I'm just like, all right, like let's go. Like I'm curious to see where it goes, but they need less of it. Like I get it. He's being haunted or he's being drugged or whatever the hell's going on with the witch slash maester slash jawline of that woman. So initially I was like, all right. And then, yeah, it picked up. And I mean, the battle scene was incredible. I think, I mean, I do have my problems with it, which we'll talk about later. And it's like stupid problems. It's not the show itself. It's me being way too picky. But overall, love the episode. We're back. Robbie's back, most importantly. So
Back.
I'm pumped, ready to go. I'm excited for next week as well.
You know what? I don't know why this is one of my favorite things in Game of Thrones, but one of my favorite things in the battle is when the first line comes charging in and they just get arrows rained down on them. And it's like you're just playing the lottery to see who's just going to get murked out. And I don't know why, but those are always my favorite scenes in the battles. It's just seeing who makes it and who doesn't.
I don't give those motherfuckers a shield and let them do this.
Yeah, no,
At
you
least
just
give them a
gotta.
chance.
They gave up and they just said, let's just let them run out of arrows, and they send out the maybe the mentally slow ones out first because they don't know what they're running into.
Jeez, I don't know. But yeah, agree. I mean, that's probably how it was. Imagine you're in the vanguard or you're in the first lines. It's just like, well, I'm probably dead.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like the American Revolution when they just stood like 50 feet away from each other and loaded their guns and started shooting at each other. Yeah, stupid. But
And then 10 minutes later, while they were reloading,
yeah, exactly.
shoot again. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're all on the same page. Does anyone want to give their plum score first?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm gonna go 9.4. Pretty high. I really like this episode. I would watching the battle, like I had goosebumps. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's going on? This was almost a confirming episode for me to not read the books because I feel like, or I keep saying books, it's a book. Read the book because week to week, then I'm not gonna be surprised anymore. Like maybe a little bit with like certain things they change, but I like this.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
yeah. So 9.4 for me.
Robbie, what about you?
I'm gonna go 9.7. Love this episode.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yeah. Really, really, I mean, I haven't obviously watched Game of Thrones in a long time, but this is right up there with some of my favorite battles of all time. I mean, it was like I said, amazing. The dragon fight was just unreal. I mean, well, I know we'll talk about scenes, but my favorite fucking part of this episode was when they panned to Aemond and Vhagar just hanging out in the woods, and they're getting ready to go, and then they tell him to stop, and then what's his name? Vhagar puts his head down, and then just that, that little breath into the bushes or whatever, and I was like, this is amazing. A little wear and tear on the boy, but or the girl, I don't know which one it is, but yeah, 9.7. Love this episode. Absolutely loved it. It goes down as one of the my favorite episodes of all time for the entire series and for the entire Game of Thrones universe.
I'm torn now on my score because initially, Ryan, I was with you and I was going to go 9.4. And then I'm listening to Robbie give it a 9.7. And I'm thinking, I mean, what did I really want more from an episode here? So I'm going to split the difference kind of, and I'm going to bump up to 9.6 on this one. Because like I said, I mean, if I'm saying 9.4, that means I think that there's a discernible flaw with the episode. And I now thinking about it, like there was nothing even in when it was kind of slow in the beginning of the episode. I was cool with it, like as long as it stuck the landing, but I didn't think it was perfect. So I'm gonna go 9.6. Swayed by Robbie's choice there to give it a 9.7, and I land at 9.6.
But just like you followed Robbie with the sneakers, you're following him
Yeah,
with the scores.
of course, of course. I mean, he's a
Just like you
trendsetter, they
followed,
say.
yeah, please, just like you followed me, with my 10Ks and my athletic running socks that he copied off of. I mean, what can you do?
Listen, what can I say? You're just like I'll just say trendsetter. I was gonna say something else, but it
You can
wouldn't
call
make
me. You
sense.
can, if you want to call me Prefontaine. Whatever you want to do.
I was gonna call you Kanye, but maybe that really didn't that didn't age well. That
Well, no, I
comparison.
mean, I'm not the one that bought the Aqua socks. So I think you're the Kanye.
Maybe.
But yeah, and even what you said, Benny, quickly was just real quick. It wasn't even the fight and the battle and the CGI and the dragons that I loved as well. I even loved again, the small council dynamic. I love the politics of the show. Even Game of Thrones, I always loved the politics of it, and the bickering and the chess piece moving and the back and forths. And that was even great. I love that. And that's set in motion. We'll get into it. Aegon's stupid tactics.
And I think too, what made those small council meetings better than the other ones is like there's actual like military movement that they're planning in those that you can be like, okay, let's see how this plays out. Everybody has kind of an opinion on it, and it's like thinking about the chess move before you make it, and everybody's got their opinion on it, and that just made those a little bit more interesting. And then obviously you had the dynamic in more so the Green Council meeting, the dynamic between Aemond and Aegon that was just really tense. And you got a little bit of that too in the Dragonstone Council meeting, but the one that kept you on the edge of your seat, I think, was the one at King's Landing.
Yeah, definitely. That whole with Aemon speaking High Valyrian to Aegon, and Aegon probably not understanding the whole thing, but getting the gist of it, and everyone else just being like, "Oh shit! All right." So we know who really is running the show here right now.
Yeah.
Wait, quick before we go on, Benny especially. I know you played the game. Do you get Sephiroth vibes from Aemon at all?
Starting to.
Right?
Yeah. 'Cause
Like especially the last scene when he's got the sword and it's just flames everywhere. I was like,
yeah. And and he's starting to go full psycho.
yeah.
Like there's nothing. He is following his darkest instincts at this point, and nothing else matters.
I think because of that, I might be going over to Team Green a little bit.
Oh, please.
I know. I'm shocked too. I'm shocked because I
Team
hate everyone else.
Team Nevergreen. Nevergreen.
I don't know. Team Black, whatever. They're messing up right now. Anyway, so anything else before we get started with 7 questions for the 7 kingdoms?
I mean, let's just say rest in peace to, one of the best characters on the show,
The
which
best.
you should have known. You should have known
Yeah.
that she was going soon with how, how she was just one of the more likable characters. You knew that Rhaenyra wasn't going anytime soon. Everybody on Team Green is just an a-hole, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Anything that's going to make you feel good is not going to happen. We've all sung Rhaenys, right? Rhaenys's praises pretty much since the beginning of the show, so it was only a matter of time before it happened. What a way to go out.
Stupid
Yeah.
decision. But hey, to each his own.
Yeah, agree. I think we'll get to that a little bit later as well. So my first question for you two gentlemen is Damon's in Harrenhal. Do you think, and Robbie already kind of said it, alluded to it, are you interested in this storyline? Do you think it's going on too long? Are they stretching it out? And most importantly, do you drink the drink that Witch Jawline gives to you?
Robbie, go ahead.
No. Oh no, absolutely not.
Oh,
That's what you gotta put your a little napkin over your drink before after you leave the table, so make sure nobody's gonna brew for you. But no, stupid. You're an idiot. You don't. How could you trust these people, right? You just came in there basically and took over, and you're just gonna put absolute trust in these people that they're not gonna maybe, you know, screw you over. I mean, they are. Larry is, one of their descendants over there, and he's the master of spies anyway. So you never know. Um, I don't drink the drink. I don't even communicate with this lady. I
no.
lock myself in my room with my 15 swords locked up on the door. Nobody gets in. If I got to eat something, I'll go out and forage for some berries, but I'm not doing anything. And I don't care. I don't care. At least with like Jamie, I care. And I know I bring back Jamie because I feel like these two characters are similar to me in my thought process. But at least with Jamie, you were on a little, he's captured. He's going out into the forest over there and doing what he's got to do. But for this, I just and I like Damon, I like Cloak Damon, I like Hoodie Damon, but this I just don't care about. It doesn't bring anything to me. There's whatever the payoff's going to be, I don't care for it.
Yeah. Do you think he's getting drugged this whole time, or is he like being haunted, or maybe both?
I think he is being drugged, but the castle is also haunted, and they're playing into both. I think that they might be stretching this out a little bit too much to just make sure, because it's a timeline thing. Like they don't want to have episodes without him, but where he needs to be is going to take maybe another week or two, or probably even next week. But I'm interested. like I said, I'm interested in Harrenhal. You know, I love the lore of that castle. I love that he's there. I love that it seems to be very important. It always is very important in this world. But I just wish there was maybe more stuff of consequence going on at the moment. Besides, you know, everybody around him seems a little incompetent, or you know, the the Tullys are being represented by a child at this point that doesn't even know what he's doing.
Right.
So it's just leaving a little to be desired right now. And you know, but I am interested in where that's going.
Yeah, sort of same, but the like, all right, I get it. Like he's battling some of his demons, but like, how many drug fueled acid trips are we gonna go on with him? Like, and I like that kind of stuff. I mean, I watch Twin Peaks. Like, I'll watch surreal shit, but I don't need that much of this in this show. I feel like it's like you said, they're just like kind of stretching out for whatever their reasoning is. And maybe it'll make sense when they get to whatever the conclusion of this particular storyline is. But
And
stretching it
I
out.
feel like with him too, there's not enough of his backstory that we know to be
True.
getting all these flashbacks. Like we know a couple of plot points with Damon, and like these flashbacks or visions that he's seeing, they're really only hitting home 2 points. You know, you get a flashback with someone like Dany in Game of Thrones. Like there's all this backstory that we know about her and all these symbolism and all that stuff that made those flashback scenes that we got with her important. And even then we only got like one of them. Like when she's at the house,
The house with the red door or something, right?
yeah, but when she's
Yellow door.
in Marine, no, not Marine.
The house of the undying you're talking about?
Yes, when she was
Yeah.
at the House of the Undying, there was so much more. There was Khal Drogo, there was her in Westeros, there was all these different things that we got. And like I said, with Damon, there's only a few things that we can draw back on, and we've gotten two flashbacks with him already.
Yeah. The one main benefit I see is that Millie Alcock's back in the picture a little bit.
Yeah.
Gets her head chopped off, but she's still there.
I love that she's talking with her head cut off too. That was so good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I hope they wrap this up fairly soon. I'm not sure what the conclusion is, but I think we're all in agreement. Like, cool, interesting, sort of, but
I feel like they're leading you on to think that he's going to die soon at Harrenhal, which is not going to be the case. I still think, like I said, that something to do with Harrenhal is the reason he dies, but it's not going to be soon. And I think they're kind of just making you think that it is soon.
maybe it's like Laris or someone connected to Harrenhal is the reason for his death or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else about Damon? I
No,
need
just
him
give me some
back.
action.
Yeah, I
give me
need him
some.
back.
I don't like this Damon. It bores me. He's become one of my least favorite characters when I see him on screen. I love him, but I just hate.
Get into a fight or something.
Yeah, have sex or something. Hang the witch. Please do something. Give me something.
All right. Question number 2. Is so Benny, you alluded to it already. I think I agree with you that the whole scene with Alan, and I think we can all agree that they didn't say it, but they strongly alluded to who Alan is, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. It was this scene that I think there was a change in Rhaenys's demeanor. When this scene happened, what were you guys thinking? Were you like, all right, shit? Like, were you like, all right, he's definitely the son, or like what was your thoughts during this specific scene with Rhaenys and Corlys and Alan?
I got a little Catelyn Stark vibes from it,
Right?
where
Yeah.
like, you know, how much she hated John. Like, I don't think Rhaenys necessarily hates Alan, but it's like, why are you bringing him around? Like, why does he have to be right in my face? But even then, like, she didn't I don't think maybe she did know or she didn't know, or seeing him confirmed that he was Corliss's bastard, but I
Yeah, do you
definitely
think
got
she
some.
knew like anything leading up to this?
I think she knew that there were bastards, but I think she took it as a slap in the face that Corliss had him
Around.
at Sea Smoke, or Sea Smoke, where it's
What,
Salt
the
Islands.
ship?
I don't remember if Sea Smoke is the
Driftwood?
dragon or the Driftwood. Yeah. Um. So yeah,
Driftmark. Driftmark.
Driftmark.
It's
Yes.
the Driftwood throne at Driftmark. Sea Smoke is the dragon. Sea Snake is the ship, or he's the sea snake
In the conservatory with the
in the
Valyrian steel
right.
dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
by the bookshelf.
um. No, but yeah, I wanted more from that storyline because it left a lot of questions in the air. Um, but to me, I think in the end, it was just to set up that Rhaenys is a good person, and the things that she wants and the things that she's upset with are justifiable, and it was just to pull that rug out from you at the end of the episode.
So sad.
Yeah, I guess I agree. I didn't really know too much about the scene. Not understand what was happening, but didn't quite grasp. But as Benny was talking about it, yeah, like you said, I kind of wanted more. Obviously, I don't know if they give you a resolution because she's a goner now, but yeah, like Benny said, I just feel like she's just a good person, and good people in that world don't really last too long. And I just feel like she's a caring and loving mother and wife, and obviously anybody's going to be hurt if she surmises that Alan is definitely Corliss's bastard. But yeah, I wanted more of that. But I'm glad she didn't go. I mean, she is dead now, so you can't really see where she's going to go. But I'm glad she didn't do a little Caitlyn Stark with Jon Snow, because how dare she? That
I
beautiful
want you
boy.
to leave.
You know who that man is?
Yeah, I mean, like last week, Rhaenys is bringing Corliss, sandwiches and soup. This week she's pissed off. Like it, I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, but I feel like this, and then her at the small council, and everyone's just like, "You're not the hand, shut the fuck up." But then Corliss comes in, and everyone's just like, "Oh, a man's talking. Let's listen to
That's
him."
exactly the vibe that I got. Yeah, it
Right?
was like,
Like I
okay,
almost
now the big dog is here.
Yeah, Big Daddy Corliss is in the room. So let's not listen to this lady anymore. I kind of feel like it was like a few things compounded, and then she was just like, you know what? And we'll talk about it later, but like I might die now, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some feelings on that, but I think you're going to ask more questions about it later, so I'll leave them at that.
About her specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. So question number 3. Allison, our friend. Do you think that she is pregnant, or that was a little plan B or plan T since it's Moon
You
Tea?
took my you took my pun.
And part B of this question is, does Laris know? And or did he know before he saw the little canister? What do
Rob,
you
you want to answer first?
Was she putting hot stones on her stomach?
Yeah,
Like a hot
like
compress.
to help with
Uh,
the bubble guts.
oh, from from the mutton chops.
That's right.
Just some bad mutton chops. Um, yeah, I definitely didn't think she was pregnant with that boy. His Benny named him Crispy Cole's kid. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm done with her. Completely done with her. Every time she comes on the screen, I want her gone. Uh, I just don't like her attitude. It stinks. But yeah, I think definitely she was pregnant, and I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell with Laris if he knew before that. He I don't know, but I'm gonna surmise that he did know with his all his whispers around town. I feel like he definitely knew prior to this, and I mean the T, no pun intended, confirmed that for him. Another um thing for him to have another trick up his sleeve to use against people. I feel like he just fallen into shit. He knows what he's doing. He's a master spy. So yeah, I do think she was pregnant, obviously, and I didn't think of it until you asked the question, but now that knowing who Laris is, I think he definitely knew beforehand.
I don't think he knew beforehand, but I think he put two and two together very quickly. Um, this is now the second time one of Crispy's little mini Crispies has been offed from Rhaenyra and now Alicent. So sucks to be you, buddy. But
Boys can flip.
yeah, I think that for sure Laris did not know, but between her not showing up, the tea, the little cup, her messing with her stomach, I think he put two and two together very quickly.
Yeah. Now, do you think though that the Maesters are like, all right, only moon tea goes in this cup. This cup's for Milk of the Poppy, and this cup's for Nightshade, and this like, why would you parade around the castle like the moon tea cup? Because then
Well,
everyone knows.
the maester had it hidden when he brought it
Oh,
in,
did he? I didn't notice. Okay.
but Allison's dumbass just left it right on the
Left it on the
table.
table. Yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah,
the problem. But
which
even
and
still,
also, but even still, like, why are you just letting random people into your bed chambers when you know you're clearly recovering from an abortion?
I don't know. I think Laris no I think Laris knew something and then kind of just like put two and two together sort of. But I also think he might be scratching around the tunnels like a little rat and maybe like spying on her or other people a little bit. Because one thing I've noticed about, I don't know if you've noticed this, sometimes the camera angles of like the scene is almost like a little voyeuristic. I don't know if you guys, if you've noticed this, and I don't know if it means anything. It might just be a stylistic choice, but what makes me especially think that is because of how the book was written, where it was the point of view of people, not firsthand accounts. So it's almost like maybe they're sort of doing
Leaning
similar.
into that a little bit.
I don't know. Again, I probably am reading too much into it, but
Yeah, I think to your point, I think he probably knew that they were smashing,
boning.
dashing. Yeah. But again, I think
Sucking, fucking.
stand up 69 and I think, but like I said, I think it's, like it wasn't hard. Maybe a lot of people in this show would not put the pieces together that quickly, but for him, he's a very smart dude, and it was easy for him to put all that stuff together quickly.
I kind of hope that Laris plays a bigger role at some point. I think he will, but I feel like the last couple episodes, it's just he like pokes in and he's like, like some weird thing that he says, and then he's like, all right, back out.
See you
Yeah,
later.
yeah, I'm gonna shuffle out of here.
I have a what are we on? Question three?
We are on 3, yes.
I have a question 3A. Just a
Please.
quick one. Whose death would be the most satisfying
Oh,
in this series?
I mean, my answer is locked and loaded and ready to go.
oh, give us
I mean, come on, it's Kristen.
Yeah,
Because I want to see what Aemon has up his sleeve. I want to
correct.
see what Aegon has up his sleeve. I want to
Yeah.
see what Laris has up his sleeve. Otto, please don't let that man die without something crazy happening with him. So, Kristen Cole, there's nothing other than the fact that he seems to be pretty adept militarily. I just hate his guts and I want him
Oh
gone.
yeah.
There's
I think
nothing redeeming about him.
I think it changes week to week, but I think maybe I might want to see Alicent die more than Cole.
Really?
I I hate both of them. They're such little bitches, both of them.
But I enjoyed that moment with Allison finally like standing up to Aegon.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, okay, this is an attitude I can get behind here, where she just tells him what's up.
Yeah. I guess Cole. You're right. It's Cole. He's the biggest bitch. Robbie, what about you?
I don't know. Crispy has not turned me this episode, but he's a military powerhouse. I mean, watch out for him. I feel like probably whoever that girl that keeps on showing up that rode the dragon last week and came in where she was hot shit in the small council meeting at Dragonstone. I think I'm
Bayla?
done with her. Yeah,
Bayla, how
I
dare
don't want
you?
to see her no more.
How dare you?
And then maybe an Allison close second. I'm done with Allison. I don't want to see. I don't want her on my TV screen.
I guess it also would depend on how the person died because some like there's some characters that I think if it was like a really satisfying, like someone got him, that might be enjoyable too. But yeah, I guess Cole or Allison for me.
I want Kristen to get like the top half of his body bit off, and that
Yeah.
thing happens where like just the second half of his body just falls to its knees and then just falls over, and you're like, "Ugh."
Did you think when he got knocked out, did you think that was it for him?
No, because I never.
No.
Anytime you get
No.
knocked out, Tyrion, Jon Snow, you're coming. It's just a way for us to flash forward a little bit.
It's true. Good question, Robbie.
Thank you.
Question 4. Maybe we'll call this the stranger. Uh
Little
question
Jones.
Little, that's right. So Aegon small council meeting where he gets absolutely dressed down by Aemond. He gets scolded by Alicent. He decides to get drunk. Well, I don't know if I'd say drunk. He was drinking. They showed him drinking, which makes me think that they were trying to suggest that he was drunk. He does get a boop from his dragon, which was nice.
Yes.
Loved it. But what'd you guys think when you see him suiting up? You're just like, all right, this motherfucker.
Go ahead, Rob.
I don't know. I didn't know what was going to happen really. And then as um you go to the battle and the battle, keeps on going on and keep on filming. I'm like, God, something's not gonna happen. I didn't think what was gonna happen to him was gonna happen, but I was like, this fucking idiot. I mean, nothing good comes out of drinking and being upset, and he just wanted to prove that he was just, you know, the man,
Yep.
the king, and I was like, something bad's gonna happen to this guy. And a little part of me was like, I hope he drops dead. No,
He just falls off his dragon.
yeah, I was like, I hope he does die here because he's an idiot, and nobody thinks that he's got the wits or the brains to lead anything. Nobody thinks that he's powerful. Nobody thinks that he has the military strategy. Nobody thinks anything highly of him. I mean, I don't want to bounce from scene to scene, but my favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the episode was when he leaves this small council meeting. They get up and then they just start talking about strategy like he wasn't even there. They don't even care about him. So yeah, nobody takes me seriously. He's definitely searching for answers here, and I didn't think anything was going to come out of it, and obviously, I think we were right in that aspect of it.
Yeah. And I think importantly from this whole sequence of events is you brought it up before, Benny, that I think Benny that Allison just absolutely decimates him with words. Like just but she was right. And I think he realized that. And that was all part of this where she says you need to shut the fuck up and listen and do nothing right now. And he's just like, I'm gonna go win the day, and
Yeah.
then no one can say shit to me.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. I don't know if we knew about Vagar before we saw him get on his dragon. Okay, but I was like, wow, he's definitely gonna screw this up and make it worse.
Yep.
But I mean, spoiler alert, I think he may have made things better for a couple of different people. Um, he's an idiot. He is reckless as hell. He is in some ways not as bad as Joffrey, but he's more impulsive than Joffrey is as far as like him uh doing stupid things, but in a different way. He puts himself in danger, whereas Joffrey never would. So they're both super, super bad kings for different reasons. But I kind of get a same vibe from them in a way, because they're just completely immature.
Yeah, I mean, he is only what, like 17 or something like
Yeah.
that. So I kind of get it. Like, if I got disrespected in class, and then my mom yelled at me, and my brother made me look like a little bitch, and I was supposed to be powerful, I'd probably do something very stupid as well at 17 to try and prove to everyone that I was a big boy.
And yes, you're right. And 100% that plays into it. But it's also like he did all that stuff to himself. Like
Oh
if he
yeah.
did what Allison said and was just curious and realized that I don't know what I'm doing and I should be talking to all these people, look at all the stuff that Otto's accomplished, look at what my mom did to get me here. He wouldn't have people dunking on him left and right.
That's true. And then that's what when you get things handed to you your entire life, you react differently. But like, yeah, I love the dressing down, especially when I mean, Otto, where are you? Come back. I don't know where he is, but I'm lacking some Otto. But even that, when she just said, basically you threw your hand out of here, stupid decision. Read some books. So, yeah, uh, an idiot, a true idiot.
Yeah.
I feel like Joffrey was more obviously more calculated and more psychotic, whereas Benny made a good point where Aegon is just an idiot and just impulsive and just does stupid shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get for jerking off in windows instead of reading books.
That's true. That is true.
Not as fun, but might make you a better king.
Jerk off into the books when you're done. How about
There you
that?
go. Listen, problem solver you are.
There it is.
So Aegon is, flying over there. A little before this, we have the Greens, the Blacks, talking about what's up, whether they're attacking Rook's Rest. What are we gonna do? Um, Rhaenyra says, I feel responsible for this. I should go. Um, I think her son volunteers too. She's like, no. And then Rhaenys volunteers. Now, my question to you, and this, I was going to leave this for a little later, but I think it fits better now. Why are they only sending one dragon? I I
I
guess they're trying to conserve their nuclear weapons, but like send two. You got numerous. The Greens only have two dragons. They technically have four, but they only have two right now. Vhagar and whatever Aegon's
Sunfire.
Sunny
dragon is.
side.
Sunfire, right?
Sunny side up.
Sunny side up. Because Helena's dragon, she's not flying that shit in, and the other dragon technically is not known or not in the picture at this point because we just found out that there's another sun in Old Town. So I just don't get that tactically, but I get it. Am I being crazy here?
I think that if they knew Vhagar was going to be there,
Yeah,
I think then yes, or they maybe
send
even would
everybody.
have send everybody, or maybe not send anyone at
Don't send
all.
anyone, yeah. Let him take
Um,
Luke's rest.
I think
Oh, if
Rhaenyra,
Vhagar was going, sorry to cut you off. If they knew Vhagar was going, fuck it, send everyone to King's Landing and burn that place down.
that too. Yeah, sneak in behind.
Yeah.
And that probably was a lot of their calculation is they're not going to let Vhagar leave because that is the number one defense that they have. I think it was supposed to be a just get in, burn everybody, protect the castle, get out. I feel like maybe Rhaenys thought that this was a trap, but she didn't let that on to everybody else because the way she was acting was very much like, I might not be coming back. I'm probably not coming back. And I think Rhaenyra was more concerned with having another son die on a dragon that's not as big as Melee's.
Of course.
And one of the things you have to remember is at this time, a lot of the people are pretty well versed on how to take down dragons. Like there have been dragons. There's been a lot of dragons. So sending them out, even if there's no other dragon there, he could get taken down by a scorpion. He could get taken down by, a projectile from below. So I think Rhaenyra was right to protect her son. And I think that they were right to let Rhaenyra stay home. Um, does that mean you could have sent Bela? Maybe. But I don't know. I think it was sound knowing what they knew, and especially Ryan. I didn't even think of your point of the fact that Vagar's not going to be there. They need protection back at King's Landing.
Right. Any thoughts, Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, not only does he steal my athletic wear, but he steals my takes. No, yeah, I agree. I feel like they had no idea that Vaco was going to be there, so I thought it was just a get in, get out type of mission, quick and easy. But yeah, I didn't even think that Rainey's maybe had some inkling that there was going to be, Vagar there, or she was going into a trap. I didn't even think of it. I just thought that, nobody really knew that potentially they'd have Vagar sitting there. What's that? Roots
Roots
Rust?
Rest, I think.
Roots Rust. Um, John Croc. I don't know. I
Rusty
just feel
Trombone.
like, yeah. No, I definitely didn't think that she knew. I mean, she knew there was a trap going on, or sending multiple dragons. I think that it was just search and destroy with Maelys and get in there, like I said, and get out. So yeah, but oh man, Crispy and Aemond, fucking Twin Towers dynamic duo.
Yeah.
They kind of alluded to the fact that it might be a trap because they're like, why are they going to Rook's Rest? Like it doesn't make sense that they're going there. And I think they kind of all came to the conclusion that maybe they're going there because the guy who is
On the
from that
council.
castle is on the council. Whereas I think Rhaenys knew, like, no, this
Something's
is
up.
definitely a trap. This is,
Yeah.
let me go in by myself and figure out what this is. But I think their antennas were up for a reason, but I think they kind of explained it away. Whereas Rhaenys is like, your instincts are probably right on this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Especially if they knew that somehow, if they knew that they were attacking during the day, because they even made that point, like, I think it was Egwene saying to Kristen, like, it's daytime. What are you doing? And he's just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Send everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was a little like convenient for the story in that maybe if they made it where it was like somewhat coincidental, like they were both just kind of like Maelys and Rhaenys were somewhere in the area and they saw stuff going on and they just went over. It kind of felt a little like just action movie, like only send the best guy instead of like 10 guys because 10 guys could win, whereas one guy is just going to get smoked and then we're back to where we are. I mean, that's not exactly what happened, but
Yeah.
how it felt to me.
I mean, Gawain definitely didn't know like
No.
the plan. And Kristen Cole was just like full on, let's go Wink Martindale, 8 men in the box. And like whatever happens, happens. Like,
Yeah.
let's just go.
Blitz every down. So, I mean, the battle, the best, the highlight of this episode, I think. I don't really have any specific questions for this, but just thoughts like
I have a question we
sick.
can go with.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So I didn't feel this way, but it seems like a lot of the discussion that I saw online was, is Rhaenys a dummy for not leaving?
I
Oh,
thought that too. Yeah. Twice.
100%. Stupid idiot for not leaving. I don't understand why she just didn't go.
And she messed up Vagar a little bit. You could have left once. You could have left twice, 3 times a lady, but
Yeah.
she definitely had the opportunity to fly out of there. And I did read that Maelys was supposedly like the fastest dragon of all the dragons. So like she could have easily outflew Vagar, maybe even lured him somewhere and signaled Dragonstone, hey, go to King's Landing because I got Vhagar tailing me or something. I don't know. Something.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say she knew she was never getting away from Vhagar, and the only place that she was gonna go would have been Dragonstone, and you want Vhagar showing up to Dragonstone. So I think her goal was just, I'm going to do as much damage as I can. Maybe I get lucky and I take him down or injure him badly. And yeah, there was no, yes, she could have tried to get away, but I don't think Aemond was ever going to let that happen.
I think the way the question was phrased, like she should have flown away. But I think what she really thought was, I took, like, it looks like Aegon and Sunfire are down. I'm already here. Maybe I can, if I take out Vhagar and Aemond, who, how many battles have they been in? Then the war's over. We're done.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what else do they got?
Yeah.
I think that's what she was thinking. Maybe also was still a little sad that her man has been stepping out on her. You know.
Stepper, here comes the hot stepper.
I think you're right, where it's like, if I take Vhagar out, like, this is the, it, but I don't know if she ever thought that she could. I think that she's smart enough to know. I think the only thing that you could say is, okay, Aegon's down, like, Aemon's not going to follow me, because, like, that's going to be the priority. But then is there something to the fact that she saw Aemond not give a fuck, like when Sunfire and Meleys were fighting? Like, Aemond did not give a shit. He was just like, burn them both.
Everybody. Yeah.
I don't care. So I don't know. I don't know if she's making necessarily that much calculation in the moment, but the only thing that I would think is that she goes, okay, Aegon's down, I'm gonna get out of here because they're not gonna follow me. Like, they're more concerned with him at that point.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, unbelievable biting of the neck. Fantastic. I mean, that was great.
That was a cool way to get the kill.
Yeah, they always more emotional when dragons die than actual humans in this show anyway.
Right.
And I like the fact that it wasn't overly gruesome. Like, it was like, oh, he bit and the head fell off and all that stuff. It was just like, no, he just did just enough to the point where he's just dead, and that's it.
I mean, but also that's why I didn't give it a 10, because Damon's BS and just the way she was falling, I let out a couple of LOLs. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? Give me something. Give me like a Hans fucking Strudel Grubel fall. Let them not know it's coming.
I mean, once you let go of the reins, like, that's it. You're like, all right, it's done. You're not holding on like, oh, I might survive this. She just knew.
Well,
She was meditating on the way down.
Yeah, that's true. But me being a military expert, I would have had the parachute already, locked and loaded, and jumped. That's it. Save myself in the water, and have callers come pick me up in the sailboat.
Yeah.
Right.
In the Stugatz.
Yeah. Definitely loved also the dragon fighting with the claws. That was cool. Just
that shot of them too, like, tangled up.
Yeah.
From far away. Like
That
the literal Dance of the Dragons. I was thinking of the cover of that book. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm about to watch that again. Definitely might. I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Now, last question, and we can talk a little more about the battle or whatever else. After Sunfire and Aegon go down, Aemond, and then after Aemond kills Rhaenys and Meleys, you see Aemond by Aegon. He's got his sword out, and then he sheathes it. Now, I watched it a second time. He sheathes it before Kristen says Aemond. So it wasn't like he sheathed it because, oh, someone's seeing me. So do you think that means that Aegon's definitely dead? or that he had second thoughts. Because I think his intention, I think, was to go over there and finish the job if he wasn't dead. But I might be wrong. Thoughts?
I don't think he had second thoughts. I think he just is under the assumption like he's not coming back from this. And even if he does, he's not going to be in any state to rule. So what do I care? My goal is accomplished either way. Personally, 100% not dead. But yeah, I just think that Aemond thinks enough damage is done where he's out of the picture.
He fell like 200 feet and was burned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And I
still
think
alive, but I'm very badly burned.
Somebody send some help.
and I think there's part of crazy Aemon that's like, why put him out of his misery?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. Like, let him suffer. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I got the Valyrian dagger. What do I care?
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. And that exact scene was I was like, wow, Sephiroth, huh? He like turned. He's got the hair, the eye
The
patch,
fire.
the sword, the fire. Loved it. I don't know, any other thoughts about the battle or anything with that? That's
No, I don't 100% not dead, but
yeah.
100% will. I mean, the road to recovery, please. This isn't an ACL injury. He's on a long road to recovery if he is alive, and it's probably that recovery is going to be tough and potentially make him go insane.
Yeah. He's gonna
But
make Viserys look like one of you guys, very healthy.
tell me about it. Uh, yeah, I mean, I just think that obviously in Game of Thrones fashion, the Blacks have a lot of bad luck. Now, obviously, that's going to turn around, and they'll get their one up here and there. But um, I'm all in favorite character, Aemond. I mean, the best in the business, and that's what you get for making that man walk and show everybody his penis. That's what you get, Aegon.
Sure.
A little
Yeah.
tough.
He
Keep on pushing somebody to the limit.
he is the most interesting character by far now, and probably has been for a while. But man, he's just so evil that like, it's hard to even say like he's your favorite character because he's just so crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't even like, and I love the little subtle, like, even in the small council, meaning you knew how superior he was uh against Aegon. I mean, even like just going up on the board and little chess that was being played, and even, Crispy trusting him for the military strategy and doing things, getting Vagar and the sneak attack and just not including Aegon at all. It speaks volumes. Obviously, I think everybody knows that by now, that everybody thinks Aegon's just put there as a joke, basically. Even his fucking knights are pissing me off. They're the worst characters in the show as well.
See them bump into each other.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, they're a bunch of clowns. The king's clowns. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for, although this is going to be a typical, I think, slower episode. Bring
Like,
it down and
relax,
then raise the temperature for what is it? It's going to be next week is
8.
5.
Yes.
5, 6. So we still got 4 eps.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring the temperature down next week for sure.
You think? I feel like it's gonna be another hot one, and then then autumn sets in, but then it gets crazy, and then another cool down,
and then set up for next season.
Yeah.
Let's see, man. I'm excited. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much because we got so much in this episode, but I mean, I could definitely see it being a wild episode next episode too.
Yeah. But also we need, like, all right, so if there's another battle, let's just say, like, that like how many battles can there really be at this time, because there's only so many dragons, and then it's like, but maybe it turns into like military or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of armies up for grab at this point, and I think that's what we're going to get is like, all right, people are now going to start hearing about what happened. Oh no, now the king is out of commission. There's going to be a lot of, I think, focus on who people fall in line with now.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot. Being that the king is on the 15-day ADL, I think what's name comes back into the picture. Otto.
Otto. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think do we think Aemond is the next king? Because Aegon didn't have a son.
He is in line.
I don't know.
But I feel like this is going to be sorry to cut you off, Robbie. I feel like this is going to be Alicent taking back over until we know what's going on with Aegon for sure.
I just think the ramifications maybe kind of dispel Aemon's rise to maybe acting commander-in-chief. I think that might have some ramifications. I'm not sure. I think there's going to be some ramifications of what he did in the coming episodes, obviously, and I'm intrigued to see where that might go, unless he just blow it off. And he's like, I had no idea. And like, hey, you're right. All right, keep it going.
Cool.
Sick.
I only have one eye, so my depth perception's a little off. So I was angling this way, but I fucked up.
Yeah, I had
But
no
that's
idea. They both had yellow hair.
But that's kind of been Aemon's like MO a lot, where like he does something and maybe not necessarily meant to do it, but then comes back and is like, yeah, no, I did that shit. And I meant to do it too.
Yeah.
So this could be another one of those things where he's like, he didn't expect it to go down that way, but he's gonna own it 100%.
Yeah, he could probably say he might do it because Aegon's an idiot and was gonna just ruin everything.
Right.
He's gonna come out with a book called "If I Did It."
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll see. And now, if Daemon's out of the picture, the blacks without Rhaenys and Meleys kind of weak right now. I don't know.
Yeah, lots of little dragons, no big
Yeah.
ones.
And Corlys may be out of commission. A lover, scorn, pissed off
Maybe.
at Rhaenyra.
Maybe. How could you let her go?
By herself.
All right. Anything else about the battle or this episode in general that maybe I missed or we didn't talk about?
I'm sure we missed something. We always do.
Yeah, but
We'll text about it later.
Yeah. That's what. Listen, if we missed something important, send us a message.
Email,
Put in a
comment.
comment. Tell us what we messed up on. All right. Let's do. Oh, wait. I got to get my thing.
Oh, I forgot about the Iron Throne. Oh, boy, this episode running long.
The Iron Throne. Yeah, let's do it quick because this episode is running long.
Long, like Lara Strong.
That's right.
I think it's my turn to lead off. I'm going to go with Rhaenyra.
Wow.
With me?
I'm going to go with Rhaenyra because I feel like the tide has turned a little bit in her favor. I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to give her the Iron Throne, so I'm going to step on it here and say the tide is turning in the Black's favor, and Rhaenyra will be the ultimate winner from this episode.
Wow. All right.
It's bold. After what just happened. Bold.
Bold and spicy.
Like your favorite steak sauce.
I guess, yeah.
Robbie.
I'm going Christian Cole, military powerhouse on the modeled after Douglas MacArthur, Dwight D. Eisenhower. I mean, George Washington. Who else? Give me somebody else. I don't know.
Napoleon.
But who?
Patton.
Patton. That's right.
Yeah, Patton.
My grandfather followed Patton. his dreams and his dreams. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not turning back to a cold boy, but I definitely got to give credit where credit's due with his military prowess and taking lands here and there, gaining some followers,
Chopping
getting
off
that army
heads.
up. Yeah, getting that army up, having that fantastic plan, working with Aemond, a true military psychopath, and had Vagar in the bushes, ready, willing, able. So yeah, I have to go with Crispy. I mean, he definitely is the victor in many of these battles so far. Obviously, we know, that's not gonna go on for so long, and he's gonna meet his ultimate demise. But I gotta give it to him this episode. I mean, he's winning battles, taking names, and having abortions,
Didn't even pay for it. What a piece of crap.
right? Just left her with it.
Yeah, at least go with her to the clinic.
Yeah, at least get the tea for her.
My Iron Throne this week is Rhaenys. Obviously, I mean, love her. I'm really, really upset she's not going to be on the show anymore. I hope someone else takes her place. Maybe we get more Corlys because of this, and we've been saying we need more Corlys. I don't know, but Rhaenyra is going to need someone to step in and be her compass, her guide, her conscience, and help her navigate this. Or maybe Rhaenyra doesn't and just goes bananas because she loved, Rhaenys so much. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, Rhaenys definitely.
Good choice. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Rest in paradise.
Yeah. Anything else about this episode before we wrap it up?
That's it.
Well, thank you for listening and watching or whatever. Again, send us a message, comment, whatever, rate, review, all that fun stuff, subscribe, etc., etc. We love you. Check out The Boys and The Bear if you're watching those. It's probably somewhere down there in the list or something. Robbie, tell them good night.
Good night, Rhaenys, the queen that never was.
Good night, Rook's Rest. I hope you re-upped your dragon insurance because that wall destroyed.
It ain't coming back.
Brutal.
She's gonna rebuild the wall and make Dorne pay for it.
Down in my blood.
Some would say the best wall.
When I hear a sound, I rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in. My wife says, "No, Gabriel, leave." I said, "No, let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father, the way he learned."